Call the meeting to order. All rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call. All members are present except Member Thomas. Approval of the agenda. We have, on public hearings, we do have an appeal to be heard, but if the person doing the appealing doesn't show up, we will move over the top of that. 7F, action items. Approve resolution 2020-06 declaring property excess. And then on 9D, new business, accept resignation and declare vacancy. Is there anything else, Vicki? Council? Do I have a motion to approve the agenda with those changes?
Motion to approve.
Motion by Diane, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Joe. Call the question. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 4 in favor, none against. Approval of the minutes, December 18th, 2019 regular meeting. All received them in your packet. Is there any changes, corrections, clarification needed? Hearing nothing, do I have a motion to approve the December 18th, 2019 regular meeting?
Motion to approve.
Motion by Heidi,
Second.
second by Joe. Call the question. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 4 in favor, none against. This now brings us to our public open forum. Is there anyone here that would like to speak to the council? Is there anyone here that would like to speak to the council? Is there anyone here that would like to speak to the council? Our public open forum is now closed. Public hearings, the applicant isn't here, so we will move on. Reports and presentations, we do not have any of them, so we will move on to action items. Resolution number 2020-01, resolution adopting rules of order for council meetings.
So every calendar year, the City Council must conduct an annual meeting. The first regular meeting of the year is considered Sauk Center's annual meeting. At this meeting, the council must adopt rules of order and at a minimum appoint an official newspaper, an acting mayor, and a depository. The first action of the City Council for the year is to adopt the rules of order for the conduct of meetings. And the attached resolution outlines the rules adopted previous years. If the council desires to make any changes, it should recommend them at this time. So this resolution adopting the rules just talks about the regular meeting is the first and third Wednesday of each month at 6:30. Any and all business of the city may be transacted at such regular meeting. That all meetings shall be held at the City Hall unless it's a different location, which has to be made by motion. Special meetings may be called by the mayor, by any two council meetings, and then there has to be special notice provisions. And that notice of meetings can be given to the council with a copy of the meeting agenda. That's how we provide the meeting notice. All meetings are conducted in accordance with Robert's Rules of Order. And then we have the normal order of business, which we've been doing for many years, called the order: agenda, minutes, open forum, public hearings, reports and presentations, action items, unfinished business, new business, consent agenda, informational items, and adjournment. So that is the resolution adopting rules of order for the City Council meetings, Resolution 2020-01.
Questions, comments? Does the council want to change the order of the meetings?
No.
Okay. Do I have a motion to adopt 2020-01?
Motion to approve.
Motion by Joe. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Diane. Call the question. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. 4 in favor, none against. 7B, resolution number 2020-02, appointing council members to serve on various boards and commissions and also make annual appointments.
This is the annual appointment resolution. There may be some items that you'll leave blank for tonight. Those, for example, would be for the fire department, because they generally would make a recommendation to you, and their meeting isn't till this coming Tuesday, so I recommend leaving those fire chief, first assistant, second assistant, secretary, treasurer, and training officer vacant, and then we would fill those in at the next meeting. Also, that of the city attorney. We would want to leave that vacant until, I mean, he would continue to be our attorney until we have a replacement, but that we would handle that. And then any other ones that you wish to keep vacant until a future date, you can do so. We would just have a second resolution at that time. And what I provided you tonight is actually the appointments from last year, and then a line item for you to fill in. And I did send it out to everybody if you wanted to make a change, and I don't think any of you had requested a different meeting, a different appointment, but, so I don't know if you want to continue the same way or if you want to make some changes.
Actually, since we didn't, and I've always been one, and if it's not broke, let's not try to fix
Right.
it. So I think the council's working well, and everybody's happy where they're at, since no comments. So my recommendation is that we stay with everybody where they were at. Should I read them off then?
Sure.
Okay. So acting mayor would be Dave Thomas, the engineer would be Stan Tech, the city attorney would be Open, the HRA board liaison would be Dave Thomas, park board, Diane Kelly, planning commission, myself, EDA with the term that expires 2020 is Heidi Leach, and the EDA term that expires in 2024 would be Joe. Senior Center Liaison would be Diane Kelly. Airport Commission, Dave Thomas. CVB Board or Visit Sauk Center would be myself. Policy and Planning Committee would be Joe and Dave. Operations Committee would be Dave and Diane. Personnel Finance Committee would be myself along with Heidi. The official newspaper would be the Sauk Center Herald. Depositories would be Minnesota National Bank, First State Bank, Central Minnesota Credit Union, the 4M Fund, Morgan Stanley Smith Barney, Multi-Bank Securities, and Bremer Bank. Official signatories would be Vicki Willer, Jacqueline Kirkhoff, and myself. And like Vicki stated, the fire department hasn't had their meeting yet, so once that's set, we'll do those positions. So that's my recommendation. Is there anybody that wants any last minute changes? Wants to move? Okay, then I'll accept a motion to approve Resolution 2020-02, appointing the members to the various board and commissions.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Heidi, second by Diane. Call the question. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 5 in favor, or 4 in favor, none against. 7C, Resolution 2020-03, bond reimbursements.
The city has incurred costs for the proposed 2020 street project. If the city were to proceed with the project with the issuance of bonds and wishes to reimburse itself with costs incurred prior to the issuance, it must declare its intent to do so to comply with IRS regulations. At this time, the council does not foresee the issuance of bonds for 2020. However, this resolution would authorize the council to reimburse itself if later in the year it decides to do so. And I did put forth a resolution 2020-03, and that sets forth the procedures relating to compliance with the IRS regulations. And as I said, we're not at this time intending to issue bonds, but if we end up doing so for some reason, rather than doing an interfund financing for the project, this would set us up to allow us to do that. So this is Resolution 2020-03, establishing procedures relating to compliance with reimbursement bond regulations under the Internal Revenue Code. And this is simply to reimburse ourselves for costs incurred prior to the issuance of the bond.
Questions? Comments? Do I have a motion to approve resolution 2020-03?
Motion to approve.
Motion by Joe, do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Heidi. Last minute questions? Call the question, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 4 in favor, none against. 7D, approved 2020 senior dining site use agreement.
In 2010, the City Council entered into an agreement with Catholic Charities for the use of the Senior Center for senior dining and Meals on Wheels. In exchange for use of the facility, Catholic Charities reimburses the city for the cleaning and the refuse removal costs at $225 a month. That amount was increased to $275 per month in 2018 and $285 per month for 2019, which is $3,420 annually. I did run the numbers, and that does pay for all the cleaning and the refuse removal at the senior center. So we're recommending to approve the agreement with Catholic Charities for the use of the senior center for senior dining and Meals on Wheels with an expense reimbursement rate at $285 per month.
Questions? Comments? Do I have a motion to approve the agreement with Catholic Charities?
Motion to approve.
Motion by Diane, do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Joe. Call the question, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 4 in favor, none against. 7E, approve resolution 2020-04 declaring property excess.
Stearns County Attorney's Office has released to the city another forfeited vehicle. It is a 2007 Honda Pilot. The police department is requesting that we declare that excess and authorize advertisement for sale. That is in front of you in resolution 2020-04.
Comments?
I hear it's really a nice vehicle, low mileage.
Good. Hearing nothing, do we have a motion to approve the resolution 2020-04 declaring property excess and advertising for sale?
Motion to approve.
Motion by Diane, do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Heidi. Call the question, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 4 in favor, none against. Approve resolution 2020-06 declaring property excess, snow pusher.
Ben Klink, the Public Works Supervisor, has requested that the city authorize the city's snow pusher be sold. A Nuss Truck, who secured the bid for when we purchased the 4-in-1 blade last December, has offered $3,000 for the pusher to be allowed toward the purchase that we approved by resolution 2019-108. So essentially, this would be considered a trade-in, so he would take $3,000 off the price. So we are looking to approve resolution 2020-06, declaring that property excess and authorizing it to be traded in on the new 4-in-1 blade. And we did buy that snow pusher about 4 years ago when Matt was here for about $3,500. And so this would be pretty close to a wash, because if we sold it online and got $3,000, we'd have to pay a commission out of there. So we'd probably be money ahead just to take it on trade, or just to trade it in.
Okay. Comments?
Get the money while you can.
Do I have a motion to approve resolution 2020-06?
So moved.
I'll
Motion
second.
by Heidi, second by Joel. Call the question, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 4 in favor, none against. Unfinished business, arbitration hearing, insurance deductible Teamsters 320.
The City of Sauk Center versus Teamsters Local 320, which is the Police and Public Works Department's grievance that was elevated to arbitration, will be heard by an arbitrator on January 23rd, 2020, here at City Hall. It was filed as a class action grievance regarding the insurance deductible to be paid by Blue Cross for December of 2018. I do need a representative from the Personnel Committee to attend to provide testimony, which Heidi and Warren are the 2 Personnel Committee members. Along with myself, I will be at the meeting, and perhaps Jacqueline will be there too, because she was involved in the process. And we will, each side will give our testimony to the arbitrator, and then what he says is what we do. And so this is just kind of a reminder, information only, that's still ongoing. That's really all I can say about that at this point.
Okay?
That's still on for 9 a.m.?
Yes.
Okay.
Vicki, did we want to go to the public hearing since I think he's here?
Sure.
Okay. We'll jump back to 5A, an appeal of denial of solicitor's permit. You have the paperwork in front of you.
Okay, I'll provide you a little bit of background here. You did get his application and supporting documentation. Michael Anton Kessler applied for a peddler's solicitor and transient merchant permit to allow him to sell insurance door-to-door for Family Heritage Insurance. He provided all necessary documentation, including consent to authorize a history check, which was done through the public court system website. Upon review of the documentation and after consultation with the chief of police, I denied the permit. The city can deny a permit based upon the following citation from the city code. Section 117.03 states the following shall be grounds for denying a license under this chapter. The conviction of the applicant within the past 5 years from the date of the application for any violation of any federal or state statute or regulation or of any local ordinance which adversely reflects on the person's ability to conduct business for which the license is being sought in an honest and legal manner, or which will not adversely affect the health, safety, and welfare of the residents of the city. Such violations shall include, but not be limited to, burglary, theft, larceny, swindling, fraud, unlawful business practices, and any form of actual or threatened physical harm against another person. The permit was denied due to a misdemeanor conviction by the applicant in 2016 for a fifth-degree assault for inflicting or attempting to inflict bodily harm, and also to the general character of the applicant based upon the history obtained. The applicant has requested an audience in front of the city council to explain the issue and to request the permit be issued. I did give you a copy of the application and the related information for you to review, as well as my letter that I sent to him denying the permit. If you have any questions for me, otherwise we'll let Mr. Kessler come up and speak.
Anyone have any questions for Vicki?
Okay.
No,
Good evening.
go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted time to come before you guys and talk to you a little bit. You know, a lot has changed in the past 4 years now. That assault charge actually happened from a fight in jail. I was in jail for a nonviolent offense. Since then, I've completed drug treatment program, rehabilitated. You know, I went through the entire process of getting my insurance license. I am a licensed agent in Minnesota for health and accident, life, and all of that. I came here doing business to business. I just would love to protect as many families as I can in the area and be able to show people this residential.
Okay. Sauk Center is the only town that you're going to be going door to door in, or?
No, sir.
No? Okay.
Have you been denied in any other towns?
No.
How long have you been practicing
Uh,
insurance sales?
A month. Just about a month.
Okay. Any other questions? I guess I really don't have any other questions other than just to see if you were doing it not more than just one town, so.
Okay.
Council have any other questions or comments? Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Well, what is the council's wishes? You've got Vicky's statement, you've got his statement to ponder. I guess what we need is to consider the request of Mr. Kessler for a peddler solicitation, if we stand by Vicky's decision or if we overturn it.
Or you can do something in the middle, like a temporary. So that is a third option.
Is there usually a time?
That's what you said. See, when I base my decision based strictly on what's in the code, you guys are the ones that have the discretion to modify that. You may not want to. That's up to you.
Okay.
Yes,
Kurt?
my general thought is we have the code, we put it in place, adopted it, and that's what we would follow in a typical standpoint, so I think we would, you know, go with the decision made based on the code we have, would be my recommendation.
Okay,
I agree with Joe.
I'm kind of a little bit on the fence there, just having personal experiences and understanding how difficult it is to find work that meets the living abilities of people, you know, just trying to figure life out after what you've been through. I don't want to be anti any of that based on code. So my general feeling is to give him opportunity to get on his feet, so to speak. I understand the history of it, and I thank you for explaining that. I don't see any other misdemeanor assault in that record that we've been given. And if that's the only reason, and if it's true how you explained it, you're trying to do your best, and I get that. That's just my personal feeling.
any other comments? Or I'll entertain a motion either way.
Motion to deny.
I'll second.
Okay, we got a motion by Diane, second by Joe, to stand by Vicky's request. We deny the permit. Any other discussion? Call the question. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Motion carries, 3 in favor, 1 against. Thank you. Then back to new business. City attorney appointment.
Just a couple items just to discuss here. With the committee, we need to put a committee together. If you want the committee to review appointments for the mayor, a new city attorney, I should say, or do you want me to bring people in front of you as a full body, or do you want to have a special meeting to sit and discuss with potential candidates? Just kind of setting up a framework on how you want to move forward with this. The public utility has already interviewed 3, which Warren and I sat in on, and whether we want to go with the same attorney that they select, or if we want me to bring their selection in front of you for an interview, or, you know, this is kind of open on how you want to decide to move forward. But it is a council appointment. We don't have to have the same one as the public utility, but it has proved to be beneficial to have the same attorney as them. So I don't know if you want me to bring their candidate forward to you at a regular council meeting, or if you want to hold a special meeting where we could invite him in and just sit around the table and discuss with him.
Comments? From what I understand, the PUC is withholding their decision until we decide.
And they kind of feel like we do, that there's a benefit to being together.
Right.
And so they want to know if we're going to consider their candidates, or if we're going to pass on them and try somebody new. And so they're kind of waiting on us.
And basically, you know, we can bring in the people for the rest of the council to meet if you want. Otherwise, basically, it would be like Vicky and I and the PUC deciding, and I don't know how you as a council want to go with that.
I missed the meet and greet that the PUC had, so I have not been able to actually personally meet any of these possible options. I would like to.
Yeah, that's fine with me.
So I could set something up that we could either just get together early on a council evening, you could do it that way, or a special time. How about I can contact them and find out what their schedules are, if we want to bring the same 3 in, or if you have any other ideas. You know, I'll kind of set something up and run it by you, and would you prefer to do it like on a council night and then just come in early?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll try to set that up. I don't know if I'll be able to do it for 2 weeks. Maybe the meeting in February will be the one where we can do it. But I'll reach out to him tomorrow and see what I can set up, and I'll let you know.
Okay,
I've met two of them already.
Where are we right now with attorney, I mean, who are we?
Tom Mayer is still.
He's still,
yeah.
okay. Is
Until
there
we
an-
find somebody new, he'll still be there.
Okay.
Okay, the next item I had was the rental registration inspector. I have a couple different interested parties. If you want that to go to the personnel committee to come back with a recommendation. It's a contractor and not an employee, but it's still kind of considered personnel. If that's okay to go to that committee.
Sounds
that's
good.
what I would
Yeah,
Yeah.
sounds
think.
fine.
It's, they have to work with staff, and
Mm-hmm.
so,
Okay, the third item is, we do have the policy, actually, I just got it today, on the body camera use by the police department. So I don't think we're quite ready to set up the public meeting just yet, but we do have to have a public meeting to let the public come in and ask questions and understand what this body camera policy is and how it's going to work. So probably at the next meeting, we'll talk about that more, on when we want to set that public meeting, unless Joe Jensen, he's the one that's actually working on it. If he feels that it's ready to be heard by the public at the next meeting, we could possibly fit it in. But I'll get that out to the policy committee tomorrow, and you'll be able to start reviewing it. A lot of it is boilerplate from the League of Minnesota Cities. A lot of it has to do with the data practices aspect of it. So that's really where the issue is. A lot of that is what data is collected and how long it has to be retained and who can have access to it. So,
okay. The policy, get that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Then 9D, accept resignation and declare a vacancy.
so this evening, just before the meeting, I received this and gave a copy to each of you, to the mayor and city council of Sauk Center. After 21 years with the Public Utilities Commission and 11 years on the city council, I've had enough of small-town politics. I resigned from the city council effective immediately. David Thomas, January 2nd, 2020. So what would happen in a situation like this where a vacancy happens? The council will have to pass a resolution, which I'll have to prepare for you. A resolution accepting the resignation and declaring that a vacancy exists. And once you declare that that vacancy exists, then we would start going through the process of finding somebody to appoint to that position. Because his term is up this year at the end of 2020, that appointment will serve until the election, or till the end of the year. If it was one of you two that aren't up this year, it would serve till the mid part of your term, and then they'd have to run to fill that last 2 years. So because of the timing of this, it would simply be appointment by the council to fill till the end of 2020, and then that person could be on the November ballot moving forward if they so chose. So what I need from the city council is to accept the resignation and to declare the vacancy.
And bring the resolution to us at a later,
Yep.
okay. Do I have a motion to accept Dave's resignation and declare the position open?
Motion.
We have a motion by Diane. Do we have a
Second.
second? By Heidi. Call the question. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 4 in favor, none against. Consent agenda, schedule of claims.
You have that updated one.
Yep.
Okay.
Unpaid claims of $834,702.22. Paid claims as of December 31st of $157,879.69, for a total of $992,581.91. We have resolution number 2020-05, accepting contributions of $132.50 from the men's card playing group to be allocated to the senior center, $55,000 from Fire Relief Association to be allocated to the fire department, $1,000 from Walmart to be allocated to the police department, $250 from Coburn's allocated to the police department for the drone, and $100 from Kenneth Gamrod to be allocated to the police department. And on behalf of the city and the city council, I want to thank those groups for their contributions. Is there any questions or comments on the consent agenda? Hearing none, do I have a motion to accept the calendar as presented?
Motion to approve.
Motion by Heidi, do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Joe. Call the question, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 4 in favor, none against. Informational items.
I have a couple items for you. Gary Nelson, he's a patrol officer with the Sauk Center PD. He's been with the city under full-time status as of today for 15 years. And so he will receive the longevity step, because we do have in the police contract a longevity step after 15 years of 2%. I do have a reminder, we have the public hearing on improvement and assessments for the 2020 project is January 15th at 6:30 at the regular council meeting. And Keith is here, and do you have any updates on that project at all?
More updates will be ready for the meeting.
Okay. And then the other thing is I did attach the 2020 meeting calendar for all the boards and commissions. And you will note that I think there's some election November 3rd, I believe there's something that is the park board, I believe, is canceled for that meeting because there's March 3rd, there's no meeting at the park board because of the presidential primary. November 3rd, no meeting because of the general election. And August 11th, there's no planning commission meeting because of the primary election. And then we have November 11th, the CVB is Veterans Day. So those are the only meetings at this point that conflict with any holidays or elections.
Any questions on the informational items? And that brings us to the end of our agenda. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Motion by Joe, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Diane. Call the question, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 4 in favor, none against. Meeting adjourned.